Hello my lovelies. So today we are going to try the brand new Juvia's Place I Am Magic foundation. I was very excited when I saw it. You know, I bought not long ago the eyeshadow palette, which I'm wearing on actually today, and this is the Masquerade palette. I think they are an amazing brand owned by a Nigerian born lady called Chichi Buru, I think. I hope I'm not butchering her name. The brand is doing really well. The eyeshadows are out of this world. So when I saw the foundation, I was quite excited. And by the way, thank you so much to Chichi to include us white women. There is so many colors from tan, medium, light and fair to choose from. That's very nice to see, and there is a shade for everyone. So yeah, very inclusive company, because as we know, a lot of companies are shameful with like 10 shades of foundation, and I can only imagine frustration for the women of color trying to find foundation that we are all raving about, but unfortunately there is no color for them. So this is amazing. She's also come out with concealers. I think there is 21 shades of concealer. So okay, I obviously have no way to see the foundation. There is only one place in the UK, and that's Beauty Bay, that sells Juvia's Place, but they don't have the foundation yet. Maybe by the time this video is out, the foundation will be on their website, but I got it straight from Juvia's Place, and it was delivered within less than a week. I also didn't pay any custom charges, so I don't know if I just got lucky or I don't know. But the foundation is $20, I think, and choosing the color was a bit challenging. There are some swatches out there, and also on her website, on the website they have, you know, like the different colored faces with the corresponding shade, but it is still quite hard. So I thought I get like a lighter and darker one, and hopefully I can mix them. I bought the number 500 Bagota and number 600 Cairo. So let me read what this foundation says. Unfortunately, I have to put my glasses on because I can't see without them. I am magic, radiant, long-lasting, creamy and comfortable. Our Second Skin Creamy Foundation offers a smooth application with a soft, natural and soft matte finish to give a flawless coverage. A great formula to even out the complexion, refine skin texture and erase blemishes, maintaining the initial finish throughout the day. Suitable for all skin types, including sensitive and oily skin. So at first, when I heard about this foundation, because it's supposed to be such full coverage, I thought it was a matte, and I would say it's like a soft matte, velvety soft matte, and that's how they actually describe it. The coverage is out of this world. I think I got the color mixed up quite well. I can see that I'm looking a bit yellow in a monitor, but I'm not that yellow in real life. It's all the lights, it's very miserable outside, so never mind. Anyway, for your information, I have obviously mature, normal skin with slightly oily chin and forehead. So let me swatch these two shades for you. One thing I've noticed when I've been swatching them, they oxidize a lot. So I would recommend to buy a shade or two shades lighter than what you think you need. So let's do the number 600, which is Cairo, and you will see when I swatch it, I've got fake tan, I'm very brown, so so this is Cairo. It looks very light, but we will wait till that oxidizes. And then we've got number 500 Bagota, and when I swatched that one first on my hand, I thought, oh my god, that is a perfect color for when I'm tanned. but I think that's gonna oxidize too. Can you see how good this one is? And when it dries, it almost disappears into my hand, so it seemed to be a perfect color. But obviously I don't like my face to be as dark as the rest of my fake tanned body. So we will wait here for a second to see how it oxidizes while I'm talking to you about the concealer. Concealer was even worse for me to choose, and I'm so upset because I really wanted to try it. It's a creamy radiant concealer, smooths and conceals out dark circles, blemishes and skin imperfections. Well, I got mine in number 23. Oh, there must be 24 then, because I think I got the one before the lightest, and it is almost white. So I swatch it for you and you will see that there is no way I could use that. So maybe in the winter I might be able to use it. It's a bit like the Jeffree Star, I can't remember the number of that one, C8 I think. Very, very light. So it almost looked ashy on my fake tan face. So I couldn't use this. I probably will try to get darker one because I really want to try the concealer as well. Okay, so can you see this is almost the color of my hand now, and this hasn't dried yet, so we'll wait for a bit longer and then I will apply them again next to each other and you will see how much they've oxidized. Okay, let's have a look. So I'm going to apply the 500 again. Can you see this one is almost disappeared to my hand? So can you see this is the 500 before it oxidizes, and this is when it oxidizes. And now let's have a look at the 600. So this is before it oxidizes, this is after it oxidizes. So it definitely be mindful of that it does oxidize a lot. It is quite annoying when foundations do that, but as long as you know it, then you can choose the right number. Anyway, I am going to jump into the demo and I will come back and check in as well with you how this foundation was. So I'm going to mix these two together. I think I probably will mix it half-half. I'm squeezing like tiny bit. That's the 500. So this is all I've got, and I'm going to mix it. Looks a bit light, but like I said, it does oxidize. And this probably be even too much. This has such great coverage. Right, I'm going to use the Makeup Geek foundation brush. Look at this. It blends out so nicely, even though it's such a thick foundation. But you know, it doesn't feel thick. Amazing coverage, but doesn't look very cakey. I mean, look how much I've got left, and I've covered my whole face now. Maybe I will need a bit more on my forehead. Oops, that might be too much. Now, if you have very textured skin, I think that might show up a bit more, because like my forehead is the most textured part of my face, I would say. But you know what I will do? I will sort of buff it in with my sponge. The color is quite good when I've mixed them, but I think it's gonna get a bit darker. So if I just go over it with my sponge, because on my nose I'm getting like brush marks. You can see how it oxidizes, because when I put the fresh bit on my nose, can you see how lighter it is than the rest of my face? So definitely go shade or even two lighter than you think you need. Yeah, the color looks really good. It matches my neck. Okay, so like I said, I can't use the concealer. I'm so sad because I wanted to try the concealer as well, but it's just like white. So I'm going to use my Jeffree Star concealer. Put it on my eyes. You always ask me what eyeshadow primer I use. I just use the concealer on my eyelids and powder them. That's my primer for my eyeshadow. Okay, let's powder the concealer. I wouldn't say that the finish of it is very matte. It's like a, well, it's obviously not luminous, but it's not matte. It's like a velvety matte. So I am going to show you close up now before I powder my face, because I will powder lightly. Let me just have a look. Yeah, you can definitely see it on, like, if you have texture on your face. So like my chin, because that's probably where I have the most texture, and on my forehead. So but like everywhere else, it looks quite beautiful. Let me just zoom you in. Okay, so can you see, like here, you can sort of see it being a bit powdery, and it's not settling in the lines yet. And here as well, especially here, I can really see it. But you know, I did put quite a lot of it on. You can definitely use a bit less, and it doesn't look so good here on my nose. If you have very young skin, you know, with no texture and wrinkles, that will look beautiful. If you just have uneven complexion and you want to cover that. Yeah, so from the distance, you know, like talking distance, looks really nice. It covers like everything. So it's definitely high coverage. It's not too matte. It's quite a thick foundation. So I think if you used even less, you will still get really nice coverage, but it might not look as, you know, it might not show up as much. So I'm going just very lightly powder with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. Just really lightly, because it is quite matte, but you know, I hope that my oils will come through a bit during the day. Okay, so I am going to go and put my makeup on, the rest of my makeup on, and I will come back. Okay, so I am back. This is completely with no artificial lights. I thought I'd show you it like this, because I sometimes feel when I sit here with all these bright lights, they really, I know maybe when you're looking at it through your screen, it might look better, but here in real life, when I look at myself with these big bright lights, they emphasize absolutely everything. And obviously when I'm walking around, I'm not having big bright light in front of me. So sorry that, you know, like the background now is a bit dark and not very nice, but this is with no lights. So I'm going to bring you closer. I really love how this foundation looks. I like it. Okay, so this is how it looks. I can't really. And you are very close up. You would never be that close up to me in real life. But I think it looks pretty good. Okay, let's turn the lights back on. Okay, so I will come back in a few hours and we will see how this foundation wore. So I see you a bit later. Okay, I'm back. So it has been about 7 hours since I've had this foundation on. I haven't touched up. In fact, I've sweated. I was hot and bothered because I also filmed another try on haul that will come next week. So let's have a look. Okay, I would say that it looks exactly how it looked when I first put it on. It might have gathered a bit, I will zoom you in a minute, gathered a bit, you know, on my chin, which is quite normal, and like around my mouth. And I think to begin with, I put quite a lot of foundation there, and my forehead. But it stayed on so well. I mean, here it's like perfect. So it definitely has a staying power. Do you know, I think, although I haven't had that foundation for years, and it used to be my holy grail for about 15 years, it reminds me a bit of Estee Lauder Double Wear. The Double Wear is not as thick in texture as the Juvia's Place, but it reminds me a bit of that. So let me zoom you in. Okay, so can you see on my chin? It has gathered a bit and like around my mouth. Basically, like I said, wherever I have more texture, I suppose it exaggerated. I mean, here is quite bad, but again, this is in bright lights and really close up. From a bit of a distance, it doesn't look so bad. It doesn't look like it's settled in my lines. So yeah, I'm quite happy with it. But this would be more of a night out foundation, if you know what I mean. If I wanted to stay there while I'm dancing and sweating, and of course, if the lights are a bit dim, you wouldn't be able to see the texture. Yeah, so all in all, very nice foundation, but I would say, I know it says for all skin types, but if you have dry skin, I mean, mine is quite normal. If you have dry skin with some flaky bits, it will definitely stick to your dry patches. And it will emphasize texture because it is quite thick, but I'm not sure if I used a bit less. You know, this is like my first impression. So once I've worn it for a while, I will be able to work with it differently, you know. So I'm going to try it different ways, and if I get it to the stage that I absolutely adore it, you will see it in my favorites. But it is a very good foundation. Like I said, I think it's quite similar to Estee Lauder Double Wear, but of course it's much cheaper because I think it's $20. So unless you have very dry skin, I would really try this foundation. Another thing is trying the color, trying to find your color. Hopefully for you in the US and us here in the UK, it will come to, well, it won't come into shops here, still online, but in US, if it comes to Ulta, then you can go and try the shades, but remember that they oxidize, so always go a bit lighter than you think you need. Okay, my lovely, so these were my first impressions of the Juvia's Place Magic Foundation. It's magic foundation. I hope you found it helpful. Thank you so much for watching and stay fabulous. Bye.